Hi guys, I'm Eileen. Today I want to share with you the luxury items that have been growing on me, including some pieces from Hermes, Louis Vuitton, from Cleef and Arpels, and so on. To be honest, I wasn't very sure about some of these items at first, but I've really grown to like them. I think it's so interesting to see how our preferences and liking change over time, which is why it's important to take good time to consider every purchase. Ideally, I want everything I buy from now on to stay in my collection for a long time. I don't know about you, but I personally find selling my luxury pieces a very stressful process, and it's definitely not my favorite thing to do. Anyway, I still enjoy browsing beautiful items, but I'm just not in a rush to buy anything anymore. So let's do some window shopping together and have some fun. If you own any of these pieces, please share a comment down below. It's always helpful to hear from someone with first-hand experience. And now without further ado, let's see what these beautiful pieces are. First of all, I really like the grey mother of pearl from Cleef and Arpels. At first, I wasn't too sure about this stone because it didn't look as sharp as the onyx stone and it's not as clean as the mother of pearl. However, after seeing them a lot on Instagram, I've changed my mind. I now actually really like the fact that this stone looks a bit muted and it looks more modern compared to the mother of pearl, but still really classy. At the moment, you can find this stone in several of their jewelry pieces, including the vintage Alhambra necklace and bracelet. But I'm really hoping they will do the vintage Alhambra earrings in this stone. I think they would just look absolutely perfect. Previously, I was eyeing on the vintage Alhambra earrings in the tiger eye, but now I really prefer the grey mother of pearl, so I guess I'll just have to wait and see. Next, I want to talk about some of the Louis Vuitton pieces I've been eyeing on. The first one is the Louis Vuitton card holder in the classic monogram. I personally like to look at Louis Vuitton now for my small leather goods because their canvas is really durable, so it's perfect for the more hardworking pieces like a wallet. Also, in the last 12 months, I've barely used any cash for any payment, so I think going forward, a very minimal card holder will be the way to go. In the past, I usually preferred something a bit more playful and colorful for my small leather goods. But now, I actually think this card holder looks very timeless with the classic Louis Vuitton monogram. You guys know I'm not into building a collection of small leather goods, so if I do add this piece to my collection, I'll make sure I actually have a good use for it, or I might let something else go first. Another Louis Vuitton item I quite like is the Louis Vuitton New Wave Multi Pochette. To be completely honest, I'm not too keen about other pieces from this collection because for me, they look almost a bit tacky. For example, the shape of the New Wave chain bag looks quite acute. I personally don't quite like the curvature. It reminds me a bit of the Dior saddlebag, which is not my favorite either. In one of my previous videos, I also mentioned I wasn't a big fan of the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette accessory because for me, there's just a bit too much going on with the design. So I guess you might be quite surprised that I like the New Wave multi-pochette because the design is technically a combination of the two collections that I don't quite like. For me, this bag actually looks quite appealing. The design is a bit on the edgy and modern side, so I probably will not go to a wedding with it, but it just looks very functional and usable. I think it'll be great for going to the park or doing shopping. I also really like the canvas strap. I think it gives the bag a more balanced look. However, I'm not too sure about having a coin purse dangling on my chest, so if I ever buy this bag, I'll make sure to attach the coin purse to the side of the bag as a leather charm. Another Louis Vuitton bag that has been really growing on me is the Louis Vuitton Vanity PM. I just think this bag looks so adorable. I love the black treated leather. It looks so good with the classic monogram. At first, I wasn't too sure about the opening because apparently when you use this bag as a shoulder bag, the chain will restrict the opening when you want to unzip the bag. So in terms of practicality, this will not be the easiest bag to maneuver. However, if I'm happy to work around that, the size is actually really good for a mini bag. Personally, I prefer the way it looks as a top handbag anyway. So I think having a shoulder chain is just a bonus for the few moments you might want to be hands-free. Compared to other bags from Louis Vuitton, I think the pricing for this bag is quite fair at £1,700, but on the website it's constantly sold out, so I'll not be surprised to see an upcoming price increase. If you already have quite an all-rounded collection of luxury handbags, this Vanity PM should be a very fun bag to add to your collection. The last Louis Vuitton item I want to talk about today is the Louis Vuitton Bella bag. I believe this is quite a new design. When I first came across it, I didn't think much of it, but after doing some research, it's now growing on me. I like that the bag has a top handle, which is something I often look for in a luxury handbag. And the strap is also adjustable. From the videos I've watched, it looks like the bag drops at a very nice place, which is another bonus. This bag also comes with a coin purse. I already have a coin purse, which I currently don't have much use for because contactless payment is now the preferred option. But I guess you can use it for things like hairpins, headphones, and other small bits and bobs. Anyway, I like that the size of the Bella bag is not too big or too bulky. I've tried on the Louis Vuitton Noir before, but it didn't work out for me. So when the time is right, I definitely want to try out this Bella bag in the store. Moving on to Hermes. Some of you know I really like the rose gold from Hermes, so I do check their website now and again to look for new launches and designs. And currently there are two jewelry pieces that I really like from Hermes. The first one is the Chain d'Ancre Pong ring in rose gold. I've tried this ring on before and it looks so much nicer in person. And for quite a chunky ring like this, it felt really comfortable. Now the design for this ring is not exactly feminine, but for some reason I just really love wearing statement pieces on my index finger. Some of you know I have this Cartier Just Enclou ring in yellow gold and diamonds. I love how it looks, but the nail head can pinch on my skin ever so slightly. I feel like the older I get, the more I value comfort over aesthetics, so it did cross my mind to let this ring go, but I might just think about it for a bit longer because I really don't want to have any seller's remorse. The second jewelry piece from Hermes I've been looking at are the Hermes Chain d'Ancre Punk earrings. The design is anything but conventional, and I feel like you'll either love them or hate them. At first, the rock and roll element was a bit too much for me, but now I think they look very edgy and unique. That said, if you have these earrings on, I feel like your outfits will have to be quite minimal and simple, otherwise everything will just be competing with each other. Ever since learning about luxury minimalism, I've been very intentional with everything I buy, so I probably will not pay £2,800 for these earrings, but as far as the design goes, I do love looking at them. Next, I want to talk about some pieces from Gucci, and the first one is the Gucci Marmont Mini Bucket Bag. I previously did a video about the Gucci Marmont collection, and in the video I talk about why I wasn't a big fan of the Gucci Marmont flat bags, which is very much still the case, and one of the reasons is because I'm not very keen about the hard stitching on the back. But for some reason, I don't quite mind the same element on the mini bucket bag. I feel like this bag looks quite casual and playful in itself, so the hard stitching goes better with it. I also like that this bag has a very simple design. It's basically a pouch with a chain, but it just looks so cute and chic. At £700, I think this bag has been priced quite fairly. If you compare it to a Chanel wallet on chain, for example, which I previously owned, I think this bag is a lot more functional and better value for money. Another item from the Gucci Marmont collection that I quite like are the Gucci Marmont espadrilles. Now, I don't have the longest legs, so I'm usually a bit picky when it comes to choosing shoes. I definitely want something quite comfortable, but at the same time, I want my shoes to complement my frame as well. And personally, I think espadrilles look quite flattering on me. I have these Chanel ones, which I've been enjoying a lot. So since last year, I've been doing some research about adding another pair to my collection. At first, I was more drawn to the YSL ones, but now I think I prefer the Gucci Marmont espadrilles because the leather just looks so soft and supple. It gives me the feeling that these shoes must be very comfortable. I also really like the chevron patterns. I think they go really well with the slightly pointy design of the shoes. Now, I'm still contemplating if I should buy the Gucci Marmont espadrilles or if I should just wear these Chanel ones to the ground first. But I do find myself checking them out now and again, which usually is a sign that I really like something. There you have it. Those are the luxury items I've grown to like quite a bit. At the moment, my favorites are the Van Cleef and Arpels Grey Mother of Pearl, the Louis Vuitton Vanity PM bag, and the Gucci Marmont espadrilles. If Van Cleef ever released the Grey Mother of Pearl in the vintage Alhambra earrings, I'll definitely add them to my luxury wish list. I might also buy the Gucci Marmont espadrilles if I come across a very good sale. As for the Louis Vuitton Vanity PM bag, I think I'll keep doing research on it. So if you have this bag, please let me know if you're enjoying it. To be honest, I'm not rushing to buy anything. My mentality about shopping now is, if it's meant to be, it will be. So I don't want to put too much effort into chasing anything. For me, I actually find peace when I'm able to enjoy beautiful things without actually consuming them. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to share, like and subscribe. I will see you in my next one. Have a nice day.